about how you changed some rules and the courage that it took, maybe, and a little bit about how you were able to keep relationships. Because a lot of times when you change the rules, break the rules, move on from something, you disappoint people and they tend to not want to maintain the same relationship. But you have maintained some wonderful, lifelong relationships in spite of the fact that you changed who you were a couple times.
I think resilience is a piece of it, but I don't think at times I knew that I could have been a resilient person. I think it takes time to become aware of that. Like the grass out in the backyard, when I cut the grass in the backyard, it smells good. I have a Diet Coke and a lemon in there, and it looks great. And then all of a sudden, a week later, I got to come back, I got to cut it again. Dang it. But that grass grows every day, but I can't see the change. So very much, I think in my own life, there were times when there was pain or darkness I couldn't see out of it. So when I, ordained a Roman Catholic priest some 30 years ago, and I met Claudia, it's like, how could this happen to me? I thought I had set things in life. I love being a parish priest, Catholic parish priest. I love the sacraments. I love the church, the mystery of the church. I love the mystery of the church. And then all of a sudden, mystery walks into my life, and I meet this beautiful woman who somehow helps me see the face of God in a deeper and more abundant way. Through my suffering, our 6 years of struggling through that. And I'll be very honest with those were very dark years in our life, in my life, that how could I leave a church that I love dearly and then fall in love with a woman, when in fact I was a celibate priest, and I made that commitment, and I believed deeply in that integrity. My father taught me how to be a man of integrity. I always believed in that deeply. And then through that struggle with Claudia, came to realize that my role or my relationship with Claudia and God had not changed, it had become deeper. So in the midst of that suffering, right, I saw God deepen God's presence in my life, and I saw Claudia's love for me and our love for each other deepen. And I think after 6 years, I came to a resolution. If I didn't lose the relationship I felt I had with God, very personal one, by the way, very friendship one, no guilt, no shame. I don't believe in it. It doesn't work. But I have a very friendly relationship with God. It's like a friend. You play ping pong in relationships. I have my best friend from grade school. I yell at him, he yells at me, but we're still the closest of friends. God and I have not lost that relationship. Every day we do that together. And then all of a sudden Claudia walks in, and as we were able to walk through those 6 years together, I felt like that if something was not meant to be together, it would have died. My relationship with God or my relationship with Claudia. We were married some 17 years ago, and through that relationship, somehow now God has brought me with Claudia, or Claudia has brought me with God to a deeper sense of what it means to minister. A deeper sense. So the hole in the soul has become filled, but I acknowledge that presence. I cannot serve the church that I was born and baptized and ordained in. But yet again, another community, faith community, people, basically, not just the institution, but the people still have called me forth to serve them and to be present to them in their vulnerability. All right. Yes, I'm an Episcopal priest. Yes, I live with a beautiful wife who I adore, and I still have a great adoration for our God too. To be able to do that is the most humbling of all ministries that I could be a part of. So yes, I broke a law, and some priests would say to me, or my bishop would say, you can love her, just don't marry her. I remember those words so vividly. Wonderful bishop who I love dearly. But those were his words, and I had to move forth on that. Broke a rule, broke a law, but didn't lose those relationships. My brother priests and even sisters, the nuns, we have nuns and priests over all the time. They feel comfortable that Claudia and I can be present to them. We have our home, we call it Evensong, which is the night prayer of the church, where people can come to reflect and be present. Ministry of hospitality, that's God's presence. Perfection, again, is the acceptance of imperfection. Through the darkness you'll find light, and that's what we've hopefully done.